Okay, coming up next we have a very good friend of mine who is one of London's finest poets. He's been described as a euphoric latter-day Byron, which I think is very apt, and he'd like to share some filth with you now, including hopefully the Maids of Invicta by popular request. Please welcome SP Howarth. Can I also just have a quick cheer of thanks to Little Lost Lou for all her help with the sound? Thank you.
Little Lost Lou! Little Lost Lou! No, I want the mic, Oh shit, drawing near. Let's slay these stupid showbiz stars who talk of brands of caviars in daft IKEA furnished bars that charge you £5.10 a beer. And get that man of cocaine nose who'll always strike the perfect pose, whose status, wealth and fame arose through greed and through corruption. For when he weeps plutonium tears, South Londoners will raise their beers and yell out in a mighty cheers to nuclear combustion. Only spare the old school guys who've seen all this change through tired eyes and learn the hard way to despise these cunts that make us ill. Rehouse them well in comfy flats, far away from the trendy twats who wrecked their natural habitats of old Notting Hill. But burn the skin and smash the bones of girls who mimic Bridget Jones with all the latest mobile phones and fashionable disguises. Come gorgeous nukes and fool somehow to smash to bits this cash-sick cow. War in the park is coming now. The mushroom cloud arises. Woo! And we will show them all a fucking nuclear dawn. Good. Okay, Mr. Andy Hobbs, can we have another round of applause for Andy Hobbs? It was his virgin voyage of doing poetry today. Virgin, but he's no longer a poetry virgin. The blood from his poetry cherry stains this stage, historically. He mentioned real ale, which I'm a fan of. I'm sadly drinking Guinness today because there is no real ale in East London. Apparently. This is about the only reason why anyone should be patriotic to be British. Well, the Krauts can keep their lager that they hold so fucking dear. If it isn't flat and tepid, it isn't proper beer. And the frogs make much of fancy wine, fine brandy and champagne. But a real British drinker backs the camera campaign. Now Aussies, Sappers, Yankees all suck plonk and smack their lips, but it takes a real ale to wash down fish and chips. I don't want port from Porto, I don't want Spanish sherry. My teeth were never sweet enough to suffer Swedish perry. Cause triple sec too sickly and Archer's way too tart. There's nothing quite as vile as Holland's Advocaat. I found Black Riga Balsam, a little bit severe, and mixing it with absinthe was a fucking bad idea. I don't do well on whiskey, I'm not much good with gin. I think it's time we face the fact that Malibu's a sin. Sambuca makes me vomit, sake's not that nice. I'd rather cut my nuts off than sip on Smirnoff Ice. But ale, that's an honest drink, a truly wholesome brew, the lifeblood of English gentlemen, and English roses too. The drink of English bowmen who fought at Agincourt, the drink of Brits who beat the Bosch in football and in war, 'cause now puts the great in Britain, quite like our real ales. It's thirsty work to thrash the Scots and whip the tribes of Wales, so the Krauts can keep their lager, the Rasta keep their rum, the frog can take their Ponzi wine and shove it up their bum. 'Cause I could give up drinking, but never quite be dry. I cannot give up ale, I'd rather fucking die. Stout's alright as well, pretty good. Yeah. It's a slightly quiet one. This is called At a Bohemian Funeral. It's dedicated to a friend of mine who passed on quite recently. You would have liked the venue that you didn't get to choose. There was a meat-intensive menu and a splendid range of booze. You had a decent turnout. They came from near and far, the dilettante, the burnout and the faded theatre star. Your widow, in her death dress, looked ravishingly bleak, and she even kissed your mistress upon her guilty cheek. The service was a stage show for any grieving clown. It all went rather well though, like the best free gig in town. Musicians hogged the limelight with mournful melodies, and poets shook with stage fright while they mumbled eulogies. A Southwark rain was spitting. The sky was Lambeth grey, the sort of weather fitting for the nature of the day. The casket was eccentric, and much to my surprise was sculpted by that little prick who won the Turner Prize. Leave such ironies aside, I think you'd have approved. All the girls were teary-eyed and all the men were moved. The wake was quite a riot, with fine cigars and port, though you were strangely quiet whilst we were holding court. This is my last one for the minute. This is dedicated to anyone who is a child of the 90s. Do we have children of the 90s here? Oh yes. Oh yes. I think everyone. Good. I saw the best minds of my generation abandon poetry to play PlayStation, abandon lyrics for trance and techno, and then get jobs stacking shelves in Tesco. Who studied hard, got GCSEs, went to Ibiza to Nexames, came back with sunburn and STDs to face increased tuition fees at useless universities. Who ate burgers farmed from crazy cattle, who ranted revolution's prattle on May Day, waded into battle but awoke in cages they couldn't rattle. Who ate salads farmed from GM crops, who battered their livers with Alco pops, had parties raided by trainee cops. Who, despite being white and middle class and coming from the suburbs of double glazed glass, still thought they'd look both hard and dapper in the uniform of the gangster rapper. Who got patronised by dull has-beens, brainwashed by glossy magazines, by the shallow stars on TV screens, and then by Starbucks coffee beans. Who got raped by priests and paedophiles and game show hosts with perfect smiles, went to Glastonbury and all got piles. From sitting cross-legged on the muddy ground, failing to truly sound profound, and awoke to the stagnant light of day, trying to pray the come down fears away, like, should I dance all night to this DJ or dance all night to that DJ? I'd rather blow myself away than sign my name to that raw deal. A generation devoid of zeal, raised on Friends and Ally McBeal. Happy to swallow the junk food meal, happy to live in the virtually real, who cannot dream or think or feel the wounds that hurt but never heal. We're like lab rats running round a plastic wheel, who cannot howl but might just squeal. Yeah.
Another 5-minute break. We'll be back with some more music and poetry and stuff shortly.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.